My aunt suddenly snapped the branch in her hands. My parents became like controlled puppets, picking up the forks from the table and frantically stabbing them into their own faces. I tried to stop them, but it was completely useless. It wasn't until my aunt threw the branch in her hands into a bowl filled with water that my parents finally stopped. My aunt demanded that I help her keep the secret. She said if I didn't obey her, she would make my parents hurt themselves to death. Faced with my aunt's threats and terror, I had no choice but to submit. In the days that followed, I continued going to school as usual, but my parents remained sitting at the table, never moving. I was very worried about my parents' physical condition, so I went into my aunt's room to ask. My aunt only coldly told me to get canned food to feed my parents. From then on, every day after school, I would first go to the supermarket to buy canned food, then hurry home to carefully feed my unresponsive parents. This kind of life went on for a long time. One night, I was suddenly awakened by my aunt. In the dim room, my aunt's face was deathly pale. She weakly told me that she was seriously ill and that the hospital could no longer cure her. She hoped I could save her. Then my aunt stated her conditions. If I could help her bring back one item from each of my classmates, once she recovered, she would immediately go back home. In order to help my parents recover quickly, I took advantage of the time when my classmates were playing basketball to quietly slip back into the classroom and take away their name tags. However, at that moment, my homeroom teacher suddenly walked into the classroom. Seeing that something was wrong with my condition, the teacher patiently comforted me. But at that moment, all I could think about was rescuing my parents. After school, I stuffed my classmates' name tags into my aunt's room. That night, my aunt began practicing witchcraft. She gently shook the bell in her hand, and the clock happened to point to 2:17. All my classmates ran out of their homes, flooded onto the streets, one after another, and ran into the basement of my house. It was then that I realized my aunt had deceived me. But looking at my parents, who were still being controlled, I didn't dare expose this lie. I could only choose silence and cooperate with my aunt in dealing with police inquiries. When the police officers came to search the house, I helped tidy up the place, watching my aunt use witchcraft to control my classmates and make them hide outside. Once the police left, classmates were summoned back to the basement. When school reopened, I was assigned to study in other classes. I still continued as usual, going to the supermarket every day after school to buy canned food. It's just that, after returning home, in addition to feeding my unresponsive parents, I also had to feed those classmates who were imprisoned in the basement.